It is NaNoWrimo Day 4. My name is Daniel Poppie. If you want to find out more about me and what I do as an author, you can find out more at danielpoppie.com. So, I said I was trying to shoot for getting 25 to 30 pages written. I didn't reach 25, but I think I'm in a pretty good spot. So as of now, last night I got 21 and a half written, and the reason why I didn't is because yesterday we had an election, so I was keeping up with that, keeping track with what was happening. Of course, there isn't a result for those of you who are watching later on. If you're watching the day after, if you're watching the day after and you're in the U.S., you know that we don't have a result yet, and that's going to be a while. It's going to be, it probably will come down to Pennsylvania, which, whatever, that's how it goes. Besides that, so I was working on this. I'm feeling really good about it. I'm feeling really good about the writing. So one thing I want to point out. So again, I was shooting for 25 to 30. 25 was my minimum. Again, because I was distracted. I was writing as I was listening. Some people might not be able to do that, but I got 21 and a half. So I would have been able, if I would have been able to get, let's just see, 3.5 more, I would have gotten to my goal, which I think is pretty good. So right now I'm sitting at 36 solid pages. 36 solid pages of the book written. And a really important thing to note with this is I'm sitting at 36 solid pages, but I'm sitting at 36 solid pages that I really like the writing with. If you hear something in the background, it's my water heating up for my drink. So I'm just doing that. I've gotten rid of caffeine in my life, but I'm reintroducing just a very small amount in the form of black tea. So even though I didn't reach my goal, which would have put me at 40 pages in total, which would have put me at about, not halfway through this, but a quarter of the way through, which is good, I'm still writing in a way that I like. So I'm taking my time in the writing process enough, and some people need to do more edits than I do. For me, if I take my time, if I get into the flow of writing, which I've been able to do better the more I write, it doesn't take as long for me to write, and then I can write prose that I like better, so I don't have to do as much editing, and that's just something that has taken time. So if I were to write 25 pages a day, well, that puts me in this notebook. So there's 100 sheets of paper in these notebooks, and they're college ruled. And if I write 25 pages a day, in 2 days I get up to 50 pages. So I'm not as far ahead as I want to be, but I'm close. In 4 days, I get up to 100 pages, and in 8 days, I get up to 200 pages. Okay, a page isn't a whole sheet of paper. A page is one side of the sheet of paper. So in 8 days, you write the entire book. So what I plan on doing, today I still want to try to get 25 to 30 pages, and I'm not going to break my back. I'm not going to feel bad if I don't reach that amount. I think that I'm going to be able to get 25 at the very least because, like I said last night, I was distracted when I was keeping up with stuff, and I thought it was important to be aware of what was going on in the country. But even if I don't get 25 to 30 pages done, or even if I don't get 25 done the rest of the week, I've got the weekend to work on the book, and I plan on putting in more work, especially on Saturday. And if I fall behind during the week, I'm going to ramp up how many pages I'm writing on the weekend. So that's always a way to do it, and I think that I'm going to be able to if I can get 20 pages done early enough, because it's pretty early right now, if I can get 20 pages done early in the day, then it won't be as much of an issue to get 10 more done later in the day, but we'll see. The good thing about this is that I have a little baby, so it forces us to be done with stuff, me and my wife to be done with stuff at a certain time during the day. So because it forces us to do that, there's actually a chunk of time at the end of the day, like a couple hours, 2.5 hours, where we can hang out or do stuff, and that'll give me time to work on the book at home, as opposed to being out doing something that would distract me. So that's where I am. My outline, I've gotten to the point where I've caught up with my outline. I don't think it'll be much of an issue just working off the skeletal frame of the outline. I just have to do some brainstorming and daydreaming, I guess you want to call it, about the outline and the different parts of the outline outside of the writing itself. And you can do that with anything, to be honest. You can just think about, oh, what can I do with this? You imagine what's happening in each of the scenes or each of the steps of the story. And when you come to the writing process, it's primed you for the writing itself. And I think that's a really good thing to do. And I talk about that in my podcast. So I'm not sure which podcast it is, but I do talk about that, and I have in the past. All right, that's all I've got for you today. I will give you an update tomorrow morning.